welcome to Possessive Movie Talk. Can you tell us again, Necromia, what we're doing in the middle of a cemetery?
Well, yes, we're here to talk about Pet Sematary, and I found it pretty fitting doing it in a cemetery.
Okay, well, let's get on with the review of one of Stephen King's most famous works, the amazing Pet Sematary. Pet Sematary is a 1989 American supernatural horror film adapted from Stephen King's 1983 novel of the same name. Directed by Mary Lambert and written by King, it stars Dale McKiff, Denise Crosby, twins Blaze and Beau Bordall, Fred Gwynne, and Michael Hughes as Gates Creed.
The Creed family, Louis, Rachel, their children Ellie and Gage, and their pet cat Church, move from Chicago to rural Ludlow, Maine, after Louis accepts a job as a physician with the University of Maine. They befriend their neighbor, Judd Crandall, who takes them to an isolated pet cemetery, misspelled on the cemetery, in the forest behind Creed's new home.
Later, Louis encounters Victor Pascoe, a jogger who is mortally injured after being hit by a truck. All of a sudden, he comes through and warns Louis about the pet cemetery before dying, calling Louis out by name. Which of course scares Louis, since they have never met.
How did you know my name?
That night, Pascoe appears to Louis as a ghost and leads him to the cemetery, warning him not to cross the barrier because
the ground is sour.
The ground is sour. Louis awakens assuming it was a dream, but notices his feet is covered in dirt. During Thanksgiving, while the family is gone, Church is run down on the highway. Realizing Ellie will be devastated, Judd takes Louis beyond the pet cemetery and deep into the woods. While they reach an ancient Micmac burial ground, Judd instructs Louis to bury the cat and warns him not to tell anyone about what they have done. The next day, a reanimated Church returns to the house. Now he stinks, moves sluggishly, and is vicious toward Louis. Judd explains that as a boy, he revived his pet dog, and although the cat might be different, it will save Ellie the grief of losing her pet. Sometime later, tragedy strikes. Gage is killed by a truck along the same highway. Judd anticipates that Louis is considering burying his son at the Micmac burial ground, although Louis denies it. Judd believes that introducing Louis to the ritual ground around the malevolent forces present here, which cause Gage's death. After the funeral, Rachel and Ellie leave for Chicago, while Louis remains home. Despite Pascoe and Judd's warnings, Louis digs up his son's body and buries him at the ritual site.
And if you think the movie was scary so far, you haven't seen anything yet. The film features some impressive evil scenes with a cute kid who returns as something very evil and sinister.
The film also offers some great flashback stories that really flush the characters out, like Rachel's childhood, where she had to take care of her sick sister Zelda. Ugh, she creeps me out every time.
And Judd also tells some childhood stories about the Micmac cemetery.
This is pure Stephen King gold. Probably the scariest film that ever came out of his books.
Do not watch it alone, and remember, the ground is sour.
That was it for our review for Pet Sematary. Oh shit, Necromia, I think someone's coming.
Oh shit, yeah, someone is coming. Stay tuned for tomorrow when we do our review for part 2.